Wow, would you look at this? We're back
in old New Mexico. Well, that's a little confusing.
Welcome everyone to the plaza at Old Mesilla, New Mexico.
In the grand scheme of things, Mesilla is actually not that old.
It was established sometime around the 1850s, mostly by people trying to get out of the United States that had been taking over, Mexico's territory.
So these people were trying to get back into Mexico, and then a little while later, the United States purchased this area.
And Mesilla became a part of the United States.
And actually, this was the capital of the region for New Mexico and Arizona at that time.
I often wonder if they didn't call it New Mexico just to make these people feel a little bit better. Wow, look at this old church here, huh? I'm not very good with my Spanish pronunciation. I mean, good enough to know that this place is called Mesilla.
And not Mesilla.
But if I'm reading this plaque over here correctly, this is the Church of San Albino.
Weird, it doesn't look that pale to me.
This brick version of the church has been here since 1906.
But there's been a church there since 1852.
And the rest of the plaza here dates from around that time.
Wow, pretty.
Just like old Santa Fe or old Albuquerque, you got the old church facing the old plaza.
And it's all surrounded by beautiful old
historic buildings.
I love how some of these old wooden buildings
used to get built and then put on these tin fronts just to make them look like they were stone. Very decorative, huh? Ooh, speaking of historic buildings, look at this. This is supposed to be the oldest documented
red brick building in New Mexico,
dating all the way back to about 1860. According to the sign here, not only did the owner make these bricks in his own kiln, but he was also murdered here.
You come across this a lot in New Mexico. History mixed with a little violence.
Well, I guess there's a reason they call it the Wild West. And speaking of the Wild West, Old Mesilla has something pretty interesting.
Right over here across the street from me
is the Billy the Kid gift shop.
And it's not just a name.
At one time, this was the Doña Ana County Courthouse and Jail.
And according to this sign here,
not only did this building once house the capital of parts of Arizona and New Mexico,
but later it became a courthouse where none other than Billy the Kid himself
was put on trial for the murder of Sheriff Brady,
successfully convicted in here,
and in this very building sentenced to hang. Needless to say, this was probably not one of Billy the Kid's favorite buildings.
Not a lot of good memories here, eh, guy?
I love this. History mixed with a gift shop. That's how you keep these buildings open.
Wow.
Check out this old roof inside of here. Whoa, what a pile of souvenirs. There's a lot of stuff to buy in here, including chili pepper Christmas lights.
But no sign of Billy the Kid's jail cell.
Luckily, however, they do have Billy the Kid himself. Dang, I knew they sentenced Billy to hang here. I didn't know they sentenced him to hang around.
Wow, he looks very well preserved.
Just like Walt Disney. Look at that. Billy the Kid is still here, and he still wants your money. Too bad I don't have any coins. I wasn't expecting Billy the Kid. I also wasn't expecting fake boogers, fake vomit, and squirt flowers. Still, pretty cool place. Where history meets souvenirs. I love it. Yes, sir, Old New Mexico is the land of Billy the Kid.
Now, Mesilla isn't where the kid lived or where he died.
Although they do say he was quite a dancer and often attended dances in this very plaza.
And, of course, it's also where he was sentenced to death.
But in addition to the Billy the Kid gift shop / courthouse over there,
there's another interesting site for Billy the Kid fans to visit not too far away.
Just a couple of miles down the road in Las Cruces is the grave of Pat Garrett.
This is the man who hunted down Billy the Kid, took him to trial, took him back to Lincoln,
and then later famously shot Billy the Kid.
The whole Billy the Kid story is something I want to get into on another day, a little more in depth.
But suffice to say that people still, to this very day, argue over who were the good guys and who were the bad guys. Sheriff Pat Garrett was in charge of hunting Billy the Kid down, and apparently that's exactly what he did. So he was a peace officer just doing his job.
But then again, Billy the Kid fans are like, but they were friends before that happened. Pat should have never shot him, and also
Billy the Kid was the good guy. Come on.
History's not as black and white as the old movies.
It all really depends on your perspective. All we do know is that Pat Garrett himself was shot and killed in 1908.
Apparently assassinated, and some people think
that even though it was decades after the fact, it was revenge for Billy the Kid's killing.
Wow, just think. The Pat Garrett is buried right here in this cemetery.
And not just him, but his wife, his kids, a whole bunch of their kids.
Hopefully we'll get up to more well-known Billy the Kid territory in a couple days.
So we'll talk more about the story, but this just goes to show you that the families are still around.
Because of all the movies and the books and the TV shows.
We often think of these legendary stories as almost fiction.
This really brings home how real all these people were.
And that all this stuff actually happened. Well, I don't know who's right and wrong because I wasn't there, but I do know that it's a real treat to pay my respects to the one and only Pat Garrett.
Then again, I did notice as I was driving in that this is the Masonic cemetery. So could it be Illuminati related? I don't know.
Whoa, putting a lot of miles under our belt today, huh?
Uh-oh, it's the Border Patrol checkpoint.
Oh no, think quick, Julio! Oh boy. Hello, officer.
Good afternoon, sir. All U.S. citizens?
Yep, all U.S. citizens here.
All right. Sir, do you have any poultry on board?
No. No chickens here, sir. Just us men.
Good to hear. Safe drive.
Oh, that was a close one.
All right, we've now come way out of our way up to Hatch, New Mexico, because I heard there's something really interesting here.
Oh, and they were right.
Look at this. Do you know what this is?
It's a good old-fashioned muffler man.
Would you look at the size of this guy? Here he is sitting at the Franciscan RV dealership. And look, he's got a little RV in his hand. I love these big guys. Look at this one. He was a cowboy at one point. Ooh, looks like he's taken off his hat, though, to get himself a little sun.
Now, these are most famously known as muffler men. You can see them at a lot of muffler repair shops holding mufflers.
There's one on Route 66 holding a rocket. There's another one on Route 66 holding a giant wiener.
But the first one of these guys was built as a lumberjack holding an axe. That's why the hands are always so weird.
We actually saw the very first one about a year ago on Route 66.
Now, this RV dealership is owned by a guy named Tico Nunn, who purchased this giant muffler man.
Just to draw a little extra attention to the RVs for sale.
But it turns out that was just the start of Tico's story.
Because then just down the road, they opened up this place. Look at it. It's Sparky's.
Apparently, they just can't get enough of gigantic stuff.
Look at the size of this giant Uncle Sam holding chili peppers.
If that wasn't your first clue, let me tell you, chili peppers are a big deal in Hatch.
That's weird, because remember the other day we saw the world's largest chili pepper. Maybe they should move that over here, huh?
Look at this place. This is exactly the type of place you would hope to find in a small town. And check this out, they got a Tony Roma sign up there.
Ronald McDonald is on the premises.
And they got the whole collection of the old A&W root beer family on the roof. A&W used to be a much more popular restaurant chain than it is today, and these guys were the mascots.
Kind of weird. Everyone's got a burger, except the little sister. What does she have? Nothing.
How about that, huh?
Dude, what a cool and unusual place.
As a celiac person, I don't think that I can eat here, but oh my gosh, whatever's coming out of that roof smells so good.
Check this out. The fun continues in the parking lot in the back.
Look at this. They got a Jack in the Box sign, a Dutch's Market quality meat sign, a knee-high beverages sign. And dude, look at this mural right here. You got the cow driving the pig and the chicken to the restaurant, and they look pretty darn happy considering they're about to get cooked.
Hungry?
Wow, the back is full of cool stuff. The walls on the roof are full of cool stuff.
And if all this wasn't enough for you, look across the street.
Holy cow.
Or should I say, holy pig.
I think the ranger's gonna like this, Yogi.
Look at this, they've got a giant KFC bucket with some dancing chili peppers on top. A hungry robot getting his ice cream on.
I am just holding this ice cream for a friend. I'm more into burgers.
A gigantic Yogi Bear.
And whoa, would you look at the size of this pig? I have never, ever seen one of these before.
Look at that, look up top. He's a piggy bank.
That is officially the biggest piggy bank I have ever seen. And this is officially the biggest piggy rump I've ever seen.
Now, the KFC bucket seems like it's from an old KFC sign. That I get. The dancing chili peppers, well, chili peppers are all over Hatch. The robot, not sure. But I feel like robots are pretty easy to find. The Yogi Bear here, I think, might come from an old Jellystone campground. I'm not sure. Did they ever have Yogi Bear fast food places? I don't think so. Who the heck even knows where the piggy bank came from? Maybe a bank chain? But one thing I really don't know where it came from is this Archer here.
Where in the world did they find this Robin Hood? This thing is ginormous.
Look at that mustache. Kind of looks like Ron Swanson a little bit. And look at this. He's about ready to shoot the moon. See the moon up there? Ooh.
This is crazy. No wonder tons and tons of people have been coming into Sparky's.
It's totally weird though, because if you look at the rest of downtown Hatch, New Mexico, you'd never think something like this would just be sitting here.
This is awesome.
It was actually someone at the world's largest chili pepper who told me, man, you like large stuff, go up to Hatch.
Well, I wasn't going to come up here just based on that one recommendation and that one kind of cryptic sentence.
So, of course, I looked it up. I saw a picture of the muffler man. I saw a picture of the things on the roof of Sparky's.
But I had no idea just how much stuff there would be.
Whoa, check this out. Look, it passed all this stuff.
There's a bunch of weird old fan blades and plates and even shoes on this
telephone pole here. And I didn't even notice this.
Oh my goodness, it's a fun pick opportunity.
It's time for a fun pick, Ma.
Quit talking to me, Pa. I'm trying to eat my pie.
Okay.
Whoa, behind the fun pick, there's even more. I don't know what this building over here is, but it's right next to the Sparky's parking, and there's all kinds of awesome stuff over here, too. Here's another thing I've never seen before. What the heck are these? Are these from a chain? Now, to me, they look a little bit like slices of pizza, but I guess they really could be anything. Ice cream cones, I don't know. This right here makes me suspect snow cones, something like that. But they also kind of look like little clowns. Someone, if you know what these are, leave me a comment. I've got to find out. Wow, and look at this out front. Look at this old Ford Fairlane. People are always talking about the old 57 Chevys. But you know what? This 57 Fairlane looks pretty darn good too. 1957 was just a great year for cars. I don't even know what we're looking at over here. Wow, this is awesome. Old cars, an old coin-operated merry-go-round. Look at this, a gasoline sign. There's a ton of people out here at Sparky's right now. No, seriously. There's a line going out the door now. So it seems like the owners probably have their hands pretty full today. That's too bad, because I'd really like to meet these people. They're my heroes. I feel like we would definitely be friends. I didn't even notice that around the other corner, there's dinosaurs on the roof and even more old signs. Wow, this is like the American picker's dream. An old Dairy Queen sign. What do you think, Frankie? 20 bucks? Yeah, maybe we bundle this sign with some of the other signs. I'm a bundler. Leave it to the old bearded charmer. As you might expect, the inside of this place is absolutely out of control too. Look at all of the neon signs everywhere. They got the old Bob's Big Boy. They even have the old McDonald's captain guy. I always forget his name. I've never seen anything like this. We need a place like this in Orange County that serves gluten-free food so I can actually eat it. Look at this. After you place your order, you can play pinball or any of these other video games right next to good old Billy the Kid. Even the men's restroom is all decked out with crazy swag, and there's signs on the walls and everything. As for the women's restroom, I don't know. Not allowed in there. Wow, Sparky's of Hatch, New Mexico. It's as American as apple pie and a hamburger. Don't you think so, Uncle Sam?
I'll tell you what Uncle Sam thinks. Uncle Sam thinks chilies are excelente.
Careful, Uncle Sam. I think that's a jalapeno.
Every good American has an addiction to jalapenos.
Can't argue with that. All right, Sparky's is one groovy place. But between here and the RV dealership up the road, I noticed some other weird stuff. Look at this old, closed, mysterious drive-thru with a dinosaur on its roof, and this. Would you look at the size of that wiener? Wow, everybody enjoys a big wiener. Look at this. I'm not sure if they actually sold fireworks and green chili here, or they just sold the green chili and it created fireworks later on, if you know what I mean. Wow. Wow, what a load of mustard. When I first drove up, I thought this maybe was Sparky's and it had closed. Good thing the real Sparky's is still open. I wonder what this place was. Oh, look at this next door. This is what I was talking about. Seems like every place in this town has a boatload of chilies drying out front. They're all for sale. It's weird because there's so many signs advertising green chilies, but all the chilies I've seen have been red. I really hope I'm not going colorblind. All right, guys, it's time for us to leave Hatch, New Mexico and head even further east. By the way, you know how this place is closed? I think it might have been because they kept giving away the Pepsi Cola. Ugh. You can't just give away your hard work for free unless you have a YouTube channel. Hey-o! Alright, we've driven quite a ways now and ran into a kerfuffle. Now, right behind me back there was the White Sands Missile Test Range or whatever. Back there, just inside the gate, they have a little park full of crazy missiles and rockets. But apparently this is outside of normal visiting hours, so the security at the gate was like, nah, bro, get lost. Oops, thought I was going to show you guys some missiles there. My bad. It is always a weird moment when you show up to a military base where they're doing top secret stuff and go, hey, what's up? I'm here to see the missiles. And they go, what? Get out of here. I'd be lying to you if I said that's the first time something like that's happened. Now look, you can see way in the distance, there's the base I just came from where I was trying to get some shots of rockets for you guys. And there is the warning sign as you get close. Whoa. Look at that. Area's potentially contaminated with explosive devices. Stay on the roads. Do not disturb any items. Oh yeah, that is weird. Look, there's a sign in Spanish for Julio. It's actually probably a really good idea that they didn't let me in there right now while Julio's with me, because you don't want to get Julio close to missiles. Well, the White Sands Missile Range may be off limits to us today, but luckily for us, the White Sands National Monument is another story. Now, where did Julio go? Oh, I see his tracks. Ooh, they're going this way. Julio, 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 where are you? Julio! Whoa, you guys, look at this. No human footprints over here. I've walked quite a ways. Look at this crazy alien-looking landscape. All white sand as far as the eye can see. The only thing is, this isn't actually sand. From what I was told, this is actually all gypsum that dissolved with rain, I think, out of the local mountains and then got blown here by the wind into crazy sand dunes. Oh, it is very white and bright and blinding out here. Without the sunglasses, I don't even think I could walk around here, even with the sunglasses. My eyes are burning. I can feel myself getting sunburned from underneath. Oh, there's Julio.
Oh. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. You were right. This is cool. Why are you all the way out here? Getting a suntan? No, I get it, Julio, but I just hate to tell you, I don't think feathers tan. Wow, there's miles and miles and miles of this stuff. Miles and miles of dunes. Miles and miles of burning hot sand and burning hot sun. Julio, don't get me wrong, this is awesome, especially finding a place with no footprints before ours, but I think maybe it's time for us to go. Oh, what are you complaining about? You get to ride in the bag. I gotta walk back to the car.
Wow, crazy that anything grows out here.
The roots of those plants have to go all the way down, past this entire dune. Oh, thank goodness, the car.
Oh man, this does totally look like a weird alien landscape out here. Maybe that's why the aliens come to visit this area.
That or they're trying to spy on our rocket firing abilities. I bring this up, friends, because one of the most famous towns in New Mexico, Roswell, New Mexico, is not that far away, and that's where I'm trying to make it before nightfall. First, though, we gotta pass through the little town of Alamogordo. Now, my Spanish is not very good, but does that mean Chubby Alamo? Just a wild guess, but I'm probably getting that wrong. Hey, what's that? Whoa! Well, at least we saw one rocket. All right, guys, the shadows are getting long. It's already getting kinda late in the day, and I still have over 100 miles to drive. But I would be nuts if I didn't make one more stop here in Alamogordo. Look at this. Do you know what that is?
That is the world's largest pistachio.
Now that is one nutty thing to find out here. I told you I'd be nuts not to stop. The world's largest chili pepper, the world's largest pistachio. Dude, there's something in the water in New Mexico and it causes creativity. That's one gargantuan nut. All right, friends, it's time for me to hit the road. And with any luck, tomorrow I'll be in Roswell. I really want to get going before the sun goes down, because I don't want to be abducted by any mysterious lights. Thank you guys for joining me on this weird adventure. Just think, in an alternate timeline, Julio and I would still be stuck out on the dunes at White Sands. I'm glad this is the alternate timeline's alternate timeline. That's really confusing. Anyway, check out the links down below to find out how you could support this show. You can get sweet hats, sweet t-shirts, support the show monthly, join a Facebook group and talk about it, maybe even sign up for that sweet pin mailing list. And don't forget, you'd be nuts not to follow me on Instagram. All right, just for having watched this, you've done your duty. You can go home and sleep well. Goodbye, you nut. No, not you, him. It's bonus round time. As you can see, I'm back in another graveyard, this time in Ruidoso, New Mexico. I've heard 4 different people pronounce this 4 different ways, so hopefully I'm getting that right. I don't know which one's correct, but look at this. I've come miles and miles out of the way to see a very unusual grave. Look at this. It's the grave of a man named Richard Ruff Jones, who was apparently a very big fan of golfing. Check out that tombstone right there, complete with putter. And if you bring a golf ball, you can actually use that putter right there to play a little putt-putt. The putting green hole is full of flowers right now, which is actually really nice. And there's a very nice epitaph right here on the headstone. But you've got to admit, that is one very unusual grave. My hat's off to you, Ruff Jones. What a way to keep your passion alive, even though you're, you know. I hope someday I can think of a grave that creative. I mean, hopefully I won't need one for, quite a while yet. But meanwhile, in the alternate timeline, Oh, man. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You be quiet. First you said the car was that way. Now you're saying the car was this way. Look at, those are our tracks from earlier. We've been going around in circles for hours, Julio. Where is the car? All right, we'll keep going your way. What could go wrong, right? What could go wrong?